And our next story comes from Sweden, which is set to become the first European country to achieve a smoke-free status. However, if that sounds too good to be true, it's because it is. This is due to the growing popularity of an alternative to cigarettes. And this alternative reportedly is more likely to encourage adults to consume more tobacco because remember, there are various ways to consume tobacco besides smoking. Here's a detailed report.
For years, the public has been warned that smoking tobacco is dangerous. And in this reign of tobacco products, snus is becoming popular as a smokeless option to cigarettes. So, as Sweden inches closer towards the first smoke-free country in the European Union, the big question is, how is snus different from smokeless tobacco? We'll try and explain to you what is happening in Sweden. Used by 1 in 7 Swedes, the usage of snus, according to the government, has helped slash the number of smokers from 15% of the population in 2005 to 5.2% last year. This is a record low in Europe.
I mean, if you really don't want to have the harm of tobacco, you quit nicotine and tobacco altogether. But there are still 1.2 billion smokers in the world, and I believe that there is an interesting case to be looked at in Sweden where we have replaced the cigarettes with an alternative product that does not include a combustion process, and it has benefited the public health.
But health officials say the rising use of snus is getting people addicted to nicotine. Back in 2019, the Food and Drug Administration issued a press release stating that while the usage of snus reduces the risk of heart disease, it in turn raises concerns over the risk of diabetes, stillbirth, and heart attack, particularly when used heavily. Even though Sweden's groundbreaking strategy claims to tackle smoking and help smokers switch to less harmful alternatives, the World Health Organization records that the rising use of alternatives pushes more than 20% of the adults in Sweden to use tobacco in similar products. And this brings Sweden close to the world average. While there's a fundamental and irreconcilable conflict between the tobacco industry's interests and public health policy interests, the tobacco industry produces and promotes products that have been proven scientifically to be addictive. So, in an email to the Associated Press, the World Health Organization said, and I quote, "Switching from one harmful product to another is not a solution." Even though snus has been banned in the European Union since 1992, Sweden negotiated an exemption when it joined the bloc 3 years later. At the Swedish Match factory in the western city of Gothenburg, thousands of doses of snus make their way through a complex web of machinery producing the sachets. The company sold 277 million boxes of snus in Sweden and Norway in 2021.
We are in Gothenburg. It's one of our 3 plants. This one is built in 1982, 400 employees. And currently we are making portion-packed snus here, which is grinded tobacco that comes into a pouch like a tea bag, and then it goes into the can.
All forms of tobacco are harmful, and there is no safe level of exposure to tobacco. The tobacco epidemic is one of the biggest public health threats the world has ever faced, killing over 8 million people a year around the world. More than 7 million of those deaths are the result of direct tobacco use, while around 1.3 million are the result of non-smokers being exposed to second-hand smoke. And this is according to the World Health Organization. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.